just trying to say is earlier he asked, is curse a good thing or a bad thing, right? Now, curses are documented in the Bible, right? Let me ask you a question. If you look around, right, what's the big problem with, let's say you have our young women walking around the streets of Columbus or any major city, right? You heard of like abduction, you know what I'm saying? Our kids getting abducted. You think that's a good thing or a bad thing? That's a bad thing, right?
That's right.
Guess what? That's in the Bible. Verse 32. Listen to this.
Verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long.
So it says our sons and daughters shall be given to another people. That happened in slavery. That happened with defects, right? You heard defects? When they take your kids. That also happens with adoptions, right? Our people getting, kids getting kidnapped, right? So you say that's a bad thing, right? So what the soldier's trying to tell you is that's a curse, that's a bad thing. Let me ask you another thing. Slavery, you heard of slavery, right? Is that a good thing or a bad thing? It's a bad thing, right? We were kidnapped, or as a race of people, we were taken, right? Given to another people, we were sold. That's a bad thing. Guess what? That's in the Bible, right? And you mentioned you don't really go to church like that. If you go to church, this is in the Bible, but they're not going to read it to you.
That's right.
Read it, verse 64.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth even unto the other. And there shalt thou serve other gods, which neither thou nor fathers known, even wood and stone.
So this didn't just happen here in America. That's what we learned about maybe in school. You look like you got a little gray hair. You may be old enough to remember slavery being taught in school, right? So gradually over the years, they reduced it from a subject to like maybe one chapter or a couple of sentences. And now the kids today, they don't even hear about it in school. They've taken it out. Why? Because that links us to the children of Israel through the Bible. We can prove that. We can take this Bible to court and prove that we are the children. But did you know that?
Right.
That we're the Israelites that the Bible's speaking about? My man, you got a shirt that says true religion, right? Guess what? That's what we're teaching, the true religion.
That's right.
Did you know you're the Israelites according to the Bible? You know how we know by reading the Bible that we are the Israelites?
No.
Because we're linked to the curses or bad things that my man's finding out only happen to our people.
That's
right? We were just reading about how a lot of our kids are getting abducted. You heard about that? Now let me ask you a question. You see a missing persons flyer, right? A kid has been missing in Columbus, Georgia. Last seen close to is Columbus Square Mall still around? No, they took it around years ago, right? But let's say a kid got missing, right? You see, what are the chances of them being found? What do you think?
Get out.
Is it a good chance, like a 10% chance, 50%?
I mean, I say 50.
50%, right? So it's a chance you'll never find that kid again. What do you say? There's a good chance they'll be found? Not 50, right? Not even close. A lot of these kids go missing, you never see them no more. That's in the Bible. Read it again, verse 32.
Verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
So now, before you go, not only is that a curse, right? But there's a whole chapter of curses that only fit our people. My man, what's your name? Miss True Religion. What's your name? Tez. And what was your name? Jay? Now you get some good information. You see you never went to church, right? But you learned some information about the Bible that you've never heard before. Have you heard this before? You might want to stick around for a few minutes because not only does this tell you who you are, it tells us what we must do.
That's right.
The solutions. Would you say we have a lot of problems in Columbus as far as our people are concerned? So-called blacks, Hispanics? Read verse 15. I'm showing you, what I'm doing is I'm linking you to the Bible. Even though it's in church, they're not teaching this. Read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15.
Hey, man, listen up. I want you to respond to this. Tell me if this is not happening to us.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So this is, you know who wrote this book? Moses. Moses wrote Deuteronomy, right? He's saying that this is 3,000 years ago. It's a prophecy, meaning something that's going to happen in the future. No other book on the planet prophesies what's going to happen in the future. What other book can you name that says this is going to happen thousands of years later?
Teach.
You can't, right? This is the only book, and guess what? It's our book. So I say it's worth you sticking around to learn a little bit more, or ask questions. Read.
To observe and to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day.
Now, here's the problem. In the book, we were given laws, statutes, and commandments, just like on the books today, right? You can't jaywalk. You can't speed, right? There's a lot of laws on the books, right, in Columbus that you have to follow. If you don't follow them, what happens?
Teach.
Say again? Yeah, there's a penalty. Well, let's say I killed your sister or your cousin, right? What's the penalty?
No.
Death, right? Guess right. It's different levels. You got laws, statutes, right, that fall under the speeding. So just same way with the Bible. There's a whole slew of laws. A lot of the laws today are based on the Bible. They just took it from the Bible and they remixed to add their own on top of it, right? Like LGBT laws. That's not, you know what I'm saying? There's no rights for LGBT in the Bible.
Right.
Right? The Bible teaches change. But listen, what I'm telling you is that we have to follow these laws that's in the Bible. There's penalties for not following the laws. What you don't know about the Bible can hurt you.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? That's why I say it's good that you stick around and learn something new. If you got any questions, now's the time to ask, because you're not going to get this on TV.
Right.
You can go to college, get a college degree. You're not going to learn the laws of the Bible that pertains to our people.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, what are you getting ready to do right now? What you getting ready to do? You headed to work. Did you know there was a law that says you shouldn't work on Saturday?
No.
Did you know that? Nobody knows that. And this book has been in the Bible and in the churches for years.
Right.
For years. And they have not taught our people. But there's a penalty. Did you know there's a penalty for working on the Lord's day? Read that, Exodus 20:28. I want to show you that because you think I'm lying.
Nah, I gotta go though.
Read that.
Exodus chapter 20, verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day.
Now today is the Sabbath day, right? Saturday, it's the Sabbath day, 7th day of the week.
To keep it holy.
So this day we're supposed to keep separate from all the rest of the days. Today is the Lord's Sabbath day.
That's right.
Right? No one should be going to work today. Read.
6 days shall thou labor and do all thy work.
So you got 6 days, 6 to 1, right? Out of 7 days, the majority of the days, that's what you have to work and do all your business, make all your money, get your hustle on legally, right? Read.
But the 7th day.
But the 7th day, day 7 on the calendar. Read.
Is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God.
So God has a day, just like when he created Earth system. Did you know he had a day he rested? He rested on the 7th day, right?
That's right.
You heard of Seventh-day Adventists, right? Right. Step on out the car, sis. Read. We're teaching about the Sabbath day. This has been in the Bible, but no church will teach you. Well, Seventh-day Adventists, they'll keep this law, but they'll ignore all the other laws.
That's right.
Read.
6 days shall thou labor and do all thy work. But the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God.
So, today is the Sabbath of our God. Read.
In it thou shalt not do any work.
So, just like my man said, I gotta go to work. No, you should not work. If you have a job today and you hear this law, you should start looking for another job if you love the Lord. If you fear his judgments, right? Why wasn't this, you've been to church before a few times, right? You have been to church before, right? I have. I grew up in the Baptist church. They never taught me this.
That's right.
They never even mentioned it. They said Sunday, Sunday was the holy day. But guess what? That's not in the Bible.
That's right.
That's not in the Bible. Why do so many people go to church on Sunday? I'm glad you asked that question. I'm going to show you. You come to the right place.
Bring it out.
This is the reason our people go to church on Sunday. Huh?
It's one of the biggest lies ever told.
You get that, Matthew. This is why, because this image right here, once they got our people to worship this image, it came with lies. It came with a set of false doctrine outside of what the Bible says. You got that? Read that.
2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 4. For if he that cometh preacheth another Jesus.
Wait a minute. I thought there was only one Jesus, right? The Bible said he will come preaching another Jesus.
Right.
Who was that Jesus? Caesar Borgia. This was an actual man, right? Son of Pope Alexander VI, right, of Rome. Yes, these are the actual sketches by Leonardo da Vinci, right? They got this image in our head. Right now when you pray, now when you pray, be honest, whose image pops up in your head?
No.
You say it's not him, right? You may have a little conscience, but most of our people that are in these Baptist churches, whose image comes to mind when they're praying? This man right here. He was an actual man, right?
Right.
What we're teaching is somebody taught us another Jesus, right? There's only one Jesus, but we were taught another Jesus. And her question was, why do so many people go to church on Sunday instead of Saturday, which is the Sabbath day? So you may know a little something. What's your name? Mike, all right, give me some. You know a little something. All right, stick around. Stick around. Because what we're reading about is another Jesus.
Y'all have a church.
We have a school. Look on the back of that flyer. Our address is there. Got a school in Atlanta, and Lord's will have one here soon. If we get enough people interested. All right, read it again.
You gotta do it.
2 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 4. If he that have come preaches another Jesus, whom we have not preached, or if he receive another spirit.
Another spirit goes into the teachings that comes with this image, right? This is also known as the image of the beast, right? That's a mystery right there. Read.
Whom we have not preached.
So the prophets of the Bible, right? The disciples, they didn't preach about no Caesar Borgia. They didn't preach about no white Jesus, right? They knew what he looked like. They knew he was a dark-skinned man with white woolly hair. Did you know that?
Yes, sir.
You knew that. Did you know that, sis? You know that, but you said of course, but most of our people don't know. How did you learn that Jesus Christ was a dark-skinned man? You read the Bible, right? Why don't they teach that in church?
No, it's not easily. It's something you don't have to go out and find. They just give it to you and accept it. That's all.
They just give it to us and accept it. But this is what happened. Deuteronomy 28. Deuteronomy 28.
Hey, you mind if I move
68.
my vehicle real quick?
Yeah, stick around though. You can hear us. This is how they gave us that image, right? We had the Northern Kingdom, so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, right? Those are our people, right? So-called Hispanics, right? Native Americans, they're not immune to being destroyed as well. If you look here, you had the conquistadors, right? They came preaching another Jesus, right? When we got those slave ships, right? Whatever our master was, if our master was a Baptist, guess what? We was a Baptist.
Right.
If our master was a Seventh-day Adventist, we was a Seventh-day Adventist.
Right.
That's how we got preached another Jesus, right? They made us. They whipped it into us. If you look on here, what you see on this man's back? Whips, right? Whips. So they took it by force. Read. That's in the Bible. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15.
68.
68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Now, sis, you know a little history about Egypt? What were we doing in Egypt? When Moses told Pharaoh, let my people go. What were they doing there? What was our people doing? Enslaved, right? Enslaved. Our people were enslaved. But Moses is saying, what? Read.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
So he's saying if you don't listen to his commandments, he's going to bring us back into slavery again, another time, but this time with ships. With ships. With ships. Our people went into cargo slavery with ships, and it's documented in the Bible.
That's right.
Read.
By the way thereof I spake unto thee, and thou shalt see it no more again. And there,
Once we got to the place of our captivity,
and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
we shall be sold unto our enemies.
Right.
Who was sold to master such and such, who was a Baptist. Sold to master such and such, who was a Seventh-day Adventist.
Right.
Sold to the Presbyterian. All these different religions that was made up by man, right? We had to follow them because we were sold. We were slavery. And guess what? God set that up.
Right.
God set that up. Why? For disobeying his orders.
What is a nation? Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family.